Brisbane Open House is a non-profit organization for public which celebrates Brisbane's architecture by providing behind-the-scenes access to buildings across the city of Brisbane to its visitors for free. In the past 8 years, Brisbane Open House had over 350,000 visitors, and by 2017 it had over 220 buildings. 97% of the visitors said that they had a positive experience with the event and programs which were provided by Brisbane Open House. All the visitors mentioned that they are happy with their tours, which shows that the event and program provided by Brisbane Open House had a positive response from its participants. By the end of 2017, Brisbane Open House had 71,621 website visits and 7,492 new Facebook page followers, which was a 28% increase from previous year. This shows that Brisbane Open House had increased their marketing efforts through social media, which is helping them increase their brand awareness. On the other hand, in 2017, 73% of volunteers that contributed to Brisbane Open House's event were female, while 27% were male. This clearly shows that more women are interested in participating in the event. For our primary research, we conducted a survey of 20 people from age 18 to 40 to identify their needs and preferences of Brisbane Open House. As our slogan, Cherish the Past, Embrace the Future, we focus on two major target audiences, which are young adults between the age of 20 to 35 and young families with kids. These target audiences have the elements for the future of Brisbane Open House, as our objective is to raise awareness, attract more audience, and educate the next generation. According to our primary research survey and Brisbane Open House survey 2017, we found that most people would go to Brisbane Open House because they had interest in Brisbane's architecture and wanted to learn about the history of Brisbane and how architecture has shaped everyday life of its citizens. 80% of visitors visited heritage sites, while 43% visited modern buildings. Reason of visits differed. Some visitors visited new buildings to have an idea for building their new house. Some wanted to study architecture in the future, and some just wanted to take photographs. Combining both the most favorite content and the most favorite activity, it can optimize the opportunity aiming at the audience in the cultural segment of both entertainment and stimulation. With more than half of the respondents saying that they would want to experience the use of new technology such as 3D virtual reality. Furthermore, a photography contest should also be considered. It's the second favorite activity among respondents, and people found Brisbane Open House as an opportunity to photograph. Open House worldwide have different organizations around the world, and we will use Open House in Melbourne, Chicago, and London to compare with Brisbane Open House. Open House around the world had high number of visitors and attracted different companies to rent their buildings. These open houses successfully use social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter to communicate with their audience and expand it day by day. In the past 10 years, Melbourne Open House had 229,660 visitors and had contributed more than $20 million to Melbourne's economy. And it has been supported by more than 5,226 volunteers who have donated over 26,130 hours of their time. By using our research findings, we have the following 3 recommendations to improve Brisbane Open House's content and brand awareness. The strategic objective for these campaigns include increasing our brand awareness by 15% in the next 6 months and increasing our visitors by 10% in the next 5 months in order to reach new groups of audience. Nowadays, up to 35% of event planners believe that wearable devices are the biggest trend in maximizing the event experience, as it increases virtual and augmented reality for audience experience. Being dependent on the stimulation segment, teenagers and mid-audit group had an average of 46.5%. Respondents looking for new experiences and exciting means and novel technology can encourage attendance to join the event. Virtual reality technology is the most popular technology implemented in the event. VR was successfully to further proven the prospect of using VR technologies in the last year's event. And based on our primary research, it shows that 60% of the respondents want the use of VR. This technology trend is an excellent opportunity for Brisbane Open House. Through VR, Brisbane Open House visitors can receive the greatest amount of pleasure because VR can enable remote audience to experience the event as if they were there themselves. It allows viewers to obtain a 360-degree tour of the space. VR could easily use a similar tactic to mock up the shape of buildings, which can imitate the past and further look of architecture. It will satisfy the visitors into a deeper level of understanding the architecture, the history, and the heritage of the building, which would lead to an increase in attendance and attracting more visitors to Brisbane Open Houses event in the future by combining the state-of-art technology with one of the most voted reasons for people to join Brisbane Open House. We came up with a campaign of setting a stall in universities' campuses to attract young students, especially architect students. The outcome of the campaign is expected to increase brand awareness among young university students and educate them about the value of Brisbane's architecture and importance of the building to its citizens. Another recommendation for Brisbane Open House is to create a modeling architecture workshop. From our research, we found that Brisbane Open House will have a Lego Fruit and Veg workshop in 2018, which is provided for people who are aged over 4 years old. We want Brisbane Open House to also create a workshop on modeling architecture for kids along with their parents. The workshop is about modeling Brisbane's architecture, such as old government house or a heritage site, which can grab children's and their parents' attention because of the value it holds. Besides that, it's an interactive family activity. Brisbane Open House will have its volunteers to teach participants the basic steps of the modeling, which can decrease the cost of the workshop. During the workshop, the volunteers can also describe the history and the culture of architecture, which aids in increasing the awareness of architecture. The modeling architecture workshop will have many benefits. It will increase the brand awareness because people can learn about the culture and history of the building they are modeling in. The workshop. Brisbane Open House will provide the opportunity for visitors to model their desired building during the workshop. Active engagement can grab people's attention because at the end they can take back the build model home, which they will always feel connected to and will remember the details of the architecture, history, culture, and the process of building the model. Last but not least, our last recommendation will be running a photography contest on social media. As mentioned before from the survey data, we found that visitors see the event as a great opportunity to capture the beauty and history of Brisbane's architecture, who can also participate in photography competition. The contest would be a campaign to promote Brisbane Open House's brand on social media. It will increase awareness and attract new group of audiences like photographers and bloggers. Brisbane Open House competition for best photograph will be run throughout the leading social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. The participants of the contest will be asked to post their best photo they have captured during the participation in Brisbane Open House, along with their special hashtag, MyFavoriteBOH, provided by us. Winners of the competition will be determined based on the number of likes, reach of posts, and shares on Facebook and Instagram. Best photographers voted will be chosen by Brisbane Open House's team and will be awarded prize money. First prize winner will be awarded $1,000. Second prize winner will be awarded $300, and finally, third prize winner will be awarded $200. The total budget for this project would be 10,000 Australian dollars, which is used throughout our 3 campaigns. In the first campaign, the use of virtual reality, it will cost us $6,000 to rent the VR equipment, along with insurance and the technical assistant. Our second campaign, Modeling Architecture Workshop, would cost $2,500, which includes model material, equipment, and rental room for public to take part in the activities. And finally, our last campaign, the photography contest, will cost us $1,500.
Brisbane Open House is a non-profit organization for public to know about cultures and history of architectures. During our primary and secondary research, we found that VR, modeling architecture workshop, and photography contests can truly increase engagement and public awareness. Thank you for listening.